Hello students, I'm teacher April and
For week 3, we're going to discuss about absolute value of a number and integers. So after going through the video, you are expected to represent the absolute value of a number on a number line as the distance from 0. And you are going to perform the 4 fundamental operation on integers. For week 3, this is your learning task number 1. On your paper, draw or illustrate a sea with the following: a crab which is 5 feet below sea level, a cliff which is 3 feet above the sea level, and a flying bird which is 4 feet above sea level. Use a vertical number line to help you out in the illustration. But first, let us know what is a number line. How do you draw a number line? Okay, so a number line is a line that consists of positive numbers, 0, and negative numbers. We usually use horizontal number line, where 0 is used as the reference point and the numbers to the right of 0 are all positive numbers, while those to the left of 0 are all negative numbers or integers. So in the activity, we will use vertical number line to represent the distance below and above sea level and for you to measure each object. Okay. Pag vertical line, yung mga numbers na nasa baba, this one, are all negative numbers. At yung mga numbers naman na makikita sa taas are all positive numbers. The sea level is represented by 0. Okay. To complete the illustration, you need to draw a sea. Okay. Sea level. So, sea. Okay, now, it's time for you to draw a crab which is 5 feet below sea level. Remember, below sea level. Okay, next to draw is a cliff or talampas that measures 3 feet above sea level. Remember again, above sea level. And a flying bird which is 4 feet above sea level. Again, above sea level. Okay? So, after you make an illustration, try to answer the questions from 1 to 7 on your module. Okay? Okay, let's talk about absolute value of a number. So when we say absolute value of a number, it is the distance of a given number on a number line from 0. So when we talk about distance, it is always positive because there is no such thing as negative distance. So the symbol for absolute value is a pair of bars that enclose a number. So for example, the absolute value of negative 2 is read as the absolute value of negative 2, meaning it represents its distance from 0 on a number line. So, the absolute value of negative 2. So, from 0 to negative 2, what is the distance? We have 1, 2. The distance is 2. So, therefore, the absolute value of negative 2 is positive 2. Next, the absolute value of 3. So, that is the distance from 0 to positive 3. So, what is the distance? We have 1, 2, 3. So, the distance is 3. Therefore, the absolute value of 3 is positive 3. Next, represent absolute value of 6 on a number line. So, what is the distance from 0 to positive 6? So, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the distance is 6. So therefore, the absolute value of 6 is positive 6. So disregard natin to. Yan. Next, number 4. Represent the absolute value of negative 5 plus the absolute value of 3 on a number line. So first, get the absolute value of negative 5 or the distance from 0 to negative 5. So what is the distance? We have 5. So the absolute value of negative 5 is 5 plus what is the absolute value of 3 or the distance from 0 to positive 3? We have 3 is the distance. So the absolute value of 3 is positive 3. So add the two numbers. We have 5 plus 3 equals 8. Okay, next, number 5. What is the value of negative times the absolute value of negative 5? So when a negative sign appears before the absolute value or absolute sign, first get the distance or the absolute value of negative 5. We have negative 5, that is 0 from or 0 to negative 5. So the absolute value of negative 5 is 5. Positive 5. So since meron tayong negative outside, you just affix the negative sign. So therefore, negative times the absolute value of negative 5 is equal to negative 5. Okay, so let us perform the operations of integers. So let us start with addition of integers. Now, there are two rules to follow. Rule number 1. When adding two integers having like sign, just add the numbers and copy the sign. So when we say like sign, it has the same sign. So pwedeng both positive or parehas negative. For example, positive 3 plus positive 7. As you can see, wala kayong nakikitang positive. But it is understood that the numbers are positive. Okay? So positive 3 plus positive 7 equals positive 10 or simply write 10. Next, positive 10 plus positive 2 is positive 12. Positive 18 plus positive 4 is positive 22. 0 plus 6, so 0 has no sign, okay? So, positive 6. How about negative 5 plus negative 8? So, as you can see, we use parentheses to separate the sign, the negative sign from the operation. Okay. So, negative 5 plus negative 8, the same sign. Copy the sign. Then, add the numbers. So, we have 8 plus 5 equals 13. Next, negative 9 plus negative 9 is the same sign also. So, negative. Copy the sign. And then, add the numbers. We have 9 plus 9 equals 18. Next, negative 25 plus negative 14 is also the same sign. So, you just copy the sign and add the numbers. 25 plus 14 equals 39. So, the answer is negative 39. Next, negative 11 plus negative 3 is also the same sign, the same negative. So, copy the sign and then add the number. So, the answer is negative 14. Next, for rule number 2, when adding two integers having unlike sign, subtract the numbers and copy the sign of the number with a greater absolute value. So when we say unlike sign, we have different sign. It could be negative or positive or isang positive and negative. So for example, negative 3 plus positive 7. So, unlike sign, isang negative at saka isang positive. So, subtract the number. 7 minus 3 is 4. Now, copy the sign of the number with a greater absolute value. So since 7 has the greater absolute value and 7 is positive, therefore the sign is positive. So the answer is positive 4. Next, 10 plus negative 12. So subtract the number, we have 2. Then copy the sign of the number with the greater absolute value, and that is 12. The sign of it is negative, so you just copy negative. Next, 18 plus negative 4. Again, unlike sign. 18 minus 4 is 14. Copy the greater absolute value. So, what is the sign? Positive. So, therefore, the answer is positive 14. Okay, next, 5 plus negative 8 is negative 3. Why negative? Because the sign of the greater absolute value is negative. Next, negative 9 plus 0 is negative 9. How about negative 11 plus 3? Negative 8. Why negative? Because the sign of the greater absolute value is negative. Kaya siya naging negative. Okay, so I hope you follow the rules. Next is subtraction of integers. So we have here the rule. Change the sign of the subtrahend. Change the operation to addition, then apply the rules in addition of integers. For example, 4 minus 9. So, 9 is the subtrahend. Changing the sign of the subtrahend, it will become negative 9. Why negative? Because the subtrahend is positive. Then, change the operation to addition. Copy the first number or the minuend, which is 4. So you have now 4 plus negative 9. So applying the rules in addition of integers, we have to follow the rules for unlike sign. So that is, you subtract the number. 9 minus 4 is 5. Then copy the sign of the number with a greater absolute value, and that is negative. So therefore, the answer is negative 5. Next, 8 minus negative 9. So change the sign of the subtrahend. It will become positive 9. Then, proceed to addition. Then, copy the first number, which is 8. So we have 8 plus 9 is equal to 17. Next is negative 15 minus 7. So, your subtrahend is positive. So, change the sign. We have negative 7. Then, change the subtraction to addition. Bring down the first number. We have negative 15. So, negative 15 plus negative 7. So, applying the rules in addition of integers for like sign, because we have the same sign. So you add the number 15 plus 7 is equal to 22, and then copy the sign, which is negative. Next, 0 minus negative 23. Negative 23. So change the sign. We have positive 23. Then proceed to addition. Copy the first number. Then apply the rules in addition of integers. So we have 0 plus 23 is 23. Next, 12 minus 5. 12 plus, change the sign of the subtrahend, negative 5. So why negative? Because your subtrahend is positive. Then apply the rules in addition of integers. We have unlike sign. So subtract the number. 12 minus 5 is 7. Then copy the sign with a greater absolute value, and that is positive 7. Okay, next. Negative 9 minus negative 7. So we have negative 9 plus positive 7. So follow the rules for unlike sign. We have to subtract the number. 9 minus 7 is 2. Then copy the sign of the bigger number, which is negative. So the answer is negative 2. Next, 18 minus negative 18. So change the sign. This will become positive 18. Then proceed to addition. Copy the first number. So 18 plus 18 is equal to 36 or positive 36. Okay? So that is how you subtract integers. You just follow the rules. For multiplication and division of integers, we have the same rules to follow. Rule number 1. The product or quotient of two integers having like sign or the same sign is always positive. Rule number 2. The product or quotient of two integers having unlike sign or different sign is always negative. For example, 5 times 3. So the operation is multiplication. So when we say multiplication, it is the process of finding the product of two numbers. Okay. So you can use X, you can use dot, or you can use parentheses. So these are symbols that indicates the operation for multiplication. The numbers being multiplied are called factors. So ang tawag mo sa 5 and 3 are factors. The result or answer is called product. Okay. So let us follow the rules for multiplication to get the product of 5 and 3. So, since it has the same sign or both are positive, the product is positive. Multiply the number. 5 times 3 is 15. So, therefore, the product is 15. Next, 4 times negative 9. We have a positive and negative sign. That is unlike sign. So, the product is negative. Multiply the numbers. We have 4 times 9 equals 36. So, therefore, the answer is negative 36. How about negative 5 times negative 10? So, since we have the same sign, the product is positive. Multiply the numbers. 5 times 10 equals 50. So, the answer is positive 50. Next, negative 7 times 8. We have two integers having unlike sign. So, the product is negative. Multiply the numbers. 7 times 8 equals 56. So, therefore, the answer is negative 56. How about in the division of integers? For example, 15 divided by negative 3. So, let us first name the part. The first number is called the dividend. The second number is called the divisor. And the result or answer is called the quotient. Okay, so again, we have the same rules to follow for division. So 15 divided by negative 3. So since we have a positive and a negative, that is unlike sign. So follow the rules for the division of two integers having unlike sign. So if the quotient is negative, then divide the number. 15 divided by 3 is 5. So the answer is negative 5. Next, 100 divided by 20. So both are positive. So the quotient is positive. Divide the number. We have 5. Positive 5. Next, negative 16 divided by negative 8. So, as you can see, we have the same sign. The quotient is positive. Divide the numbers. 16 divided by 8 is 2. So, the answer is positive 2. And the last example is negative 36 divided by 9. So, we have two integers having unlike sign. So, the quotient is negative. Then divide the numbers. We have 36 divided by 9 equals 4. So the answer is negative 4. Okay? So this is how you perform the operation on integers. Don't forget to follow the rules.
Now try to answer learning task 2 on page 16 of your module. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something.